Jets should call Minnesota for Kirk Cousins, like right now. Like right now. Let's do it.
Yeah, buddy.
Right now?
Yes.
Hey,
yes.
Minnesota.
Let's go.
You got him.
Ring, ring.
You got him after we couldn't get him. Yeah. Folks, you might forget it. Before he liked that in Minnesota, he stopped by the Jets on his free agent tour. Jets apparently offered him more money. And he took less to go to Minnesota. Maybe he doesn't want to come to New York. Maybe he wants no piece of New York. Maybe he wants no piece of New York or New Jersey. Maybe, I get it, Zach Wilson will be fine. You know what Kirk Cousins does?
Garbage time stats like nobody else.
You know what Kirk Cousins, I shouldn't ask these things without.
I mean, come on, Rich.
You know.
You know the answer.
You know what Kirk
Not
Cousins
prime
does?
time?
You know what Kirk Cousins does? Is he throws the football very well. He finds his receivers very well. And he doesn't, knock on wood for him, get hurt. He answers the bell. He is the apple of many coaches' eyes in this league for a good reason. He wasn't the reason why they lost this game last night. It would have been really good if he didn't lose. If it didn't happen last night, or if we didn't, if you're Minnesota, get a fumble on a punt return early in the first quarter, setting you up damn near right on the red zone. That's one. Two, Alexander Madison doesn't put the ball on the ground. That's two. Maybe he wants to play with Dalvin Cook again. That's three. Number three, Justin Jefferson doesn't reach for the pylon. They get 0 points right there. That every single fumble the Vikings put on the ground, unfortunately for them, wound up in the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. Another one of those fumbles was a blindside sack in which he wasn't protected, which might happen in New York if he goes to the Jets. This is irrational because there's no way the Vikings at 0-2 would be wanting to pull the ripcord and move on. I know, though, they have been kicking tires on quarterbacks for multiple drafts. Multiple. This one in particular. They just couldn't go up and get the guy they wanted. It just made no sense to do that when they've got Cousins there. And you're not pulling the ripcord. Here's what I would do. If I'm the Vikings, if things look bad, I'd sign Justin Jefferson to a contract right now.
Yeah, because he's
going
to be asking for a trade soon.
Sign a contract right now. Sign him. And then flip Kirk Cousins to the Jets. Why not? Because I'll tell you what, I know you love carping on him, as you just did moments ago, that Kirk Cousins...
He stinks. You're never going to win a big game with this guy. It's 13-7 at halftime. You get the ball to start the half. You fumble. They score a touchdown. Then on the next drive, you have 2 completions for -5 yards. You go 3 and out. Eagles score a touchdown. That game's a wrap. That's on Kirk.
Kirk Cousins would be a much better option potentially for Zach Wilson unless we start seeing something right here, right now. Dallas, New England, Kansas City, Denver, Philadelphia. And the Vikings, maybe, just maybe they can turn this thing around fast. They're home against the Chargers. There's a winnable game at Carolina, with all due respect to Carolina, as it currently sits right now. Home for Kansas City, at Chicago, Monday night home against San Francisco, at Green Bay. That's right around when the trade deadline's going to hit.
That's 2-6.
Potentially. And if you're hovering around that, you'd have to seriously consider. This is, again, such a knee-jerk overreaction conversation.
Yeah.
But in the same way, you know, it is an overreaction, knee-jerk conversation also to say that Kirk Cousins stinks. His track record doesn't look great, but there have been many track records that don't look great, and then they find out being in the right spot, and things can turn around. And when you have other options that might not be ready, you need to be ready to go make a bold maneuver. And feasibly, monetarily, it could work. I saw this one on Twitter earlier this morning. Kirk Cousins traded cash/cap/cash salary is right around $8.8 million right now, and I believe that's right in the wheelhouse of what Aaron Rodgers is left on the table for Joe Douglas to make some maneuvers. Wouldn't that be ironic? So.
Seems low, right?
Right. So I understand what his track record is, and I understand how frustrating it can be to watch him. But there's a reason why multiple NFL teams would fall over themselves for Kirk Cousins, and the Jets might be one of them. And we'll see if the Vikings would, heaven forbid, be willing to do that. And I'm sure Vikings fans right now are hearing this conversation and are saying, well, Rich, you're so nuanced about the Eagles at 2-0 that you're not concerned about how they've looked in their 2 wins. Why aren't you saying the same thing about our 0-2 Vikings? Because since 1990, even with the new playoff system, 12% of 0-2 teams make the playoffs. Do the math for you. That's 88% chance, on average, that the Vikings are in trouble. And if this is Kirk Cousins' last year, maybe, just maybe, you're Joe Douglas. You keep that one in your top right-hand drawer, if you're right-handed. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.